Dear learners, welcome to Odisha State Open University, Sambalpur. Myself, Dr. Guru Saranlal, Assistant Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Odisha State Open University, Sambalpur. Today, I am going to discuss about communication models presentation. This presentation focuses on key communication models that have shaped the study of human interaction. We will explore contribution of Berlo, Shannon-Weaver, Defleur, and Katz Lazarsfeld. These models help us understand how messages are sent, received, and interpreted across different settings. The session will also highlight their practical relevance in media, education, and daily communication. Introduction of communication models. Communication models provide frameworks to study and understand how information flow between individuals and systems. They simplify complex interactions and help identify key components in the communication process. In this presentation, we will explore the Berlo's SMCR model, the Shannon-Weaver model, the Defleur model, and the two-way flow model. Each offers a different perspective and level of complexity suited for different communication contexts. Berlo's SMCR model overview. Proposed by David K. Berlo in 1960, the SMCR model breaks communication into four core components: source, message, channel, and receiver. It is a linear model that focuses on how well the sender and receiver are matched in terms of skills and understanding. Berlo emphasized that effective communication depends largely on the alignment between these components. The model laid a foundation for future communication theories. Components of Berlo's SMCR model. The source and receiver both includes factors like communication skills, attitude, knowledge, social system, and culture. The message includes elements such as content, treatment, and structure. The channel refers to the sensory pathways: hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting through which the message travels. Effective communication depends on how these components align between sender and receiver. Diagram of Berlo's SMCR model. The diagram of Berlo's model illustrates the flow of communication from source to receiver through a channel. It shows how each element, like knowledge and attitude, impacts the message. While the visual is simple and clear, it emphasizes the one-way nature of the process. This helps in understanding how structured communication is transmitted in ideal conditions. Criticism of Berlo's SMCR model. Berlo's model is often criticized from being too linear and lacking a feedback loop. It does not consider noise or interference that might disrupt communication. Additionally, it assumes that communication is always intentional and rational. These limitations reduce its applicability to more dynamic or real world communication scenarios where feedback and context are important. Shannon-Weaver model introduction. The Shannon-Weaver model was originally designed in 1948 to explain signal transmission in telecommunications. Developed by Claude Shannon and Warren Weaver, it became one of the most influential models in communication theory. Although technical in origin, it was later adopted in understand human and mass communication processes, particularly those involving electronic media. Elements of Shannon-Weaver model. The model includes five key components: the information source, the transmitter, the channel which may contain noise, the receiver, and the destination. Each part has a specific role in communication chain. The model highlights how noise can interfere with signals, which is crucial in ensuring accurate message delivery. It is especially relevant in technical and digital communication. Diagram of Shannon-Weaver model. A typical diagram of the Shannon-Weaver model shows a clear linear flow of communication. It includes a noise source that affects the channel and can distort the message. The visual helps in understanding where breakdowns can occur and how clarity in encoding and decoding is essential. This makes it a foundational model in communication engineering and media studies. Criticism of Shannon-Weaver model. Despite its clarity, the model is seen as overly mechanical and too focused on the technical aspects of communication. It does not account for the emotional or social context of interactions. Additionally, it lacks a clear feedback mechanism, making it less effective for explaining interactive or two-way communication scenarios common in human relationships. Defleur's model of communication. Defleur built on the Shannon-Weaver model by including the decoding process and audience feedback. His model recognized that communication is not just about sending messages, but also about how audience interprets the response of them. It incorporates media distortions and audience filtering, making it more dynamic and applicable to mass communication context. Visual of Defleur model. A typical illustration of Defleur's model shows message encoding transmission through a medium, decoding by audience, and feedback. It captures how media can influence, understand, and how audience react. This model is particularly useful in analyzing television news and social media communication, where message reception and audience behavior are important. Cards and Lazarsfeld's two-step flow model. This model proposes that media message does not reach the public directly. Instead, they reach first public opinion, who then interpret and pass on the information to others. Katz and Lazarsfeld introduced this model to explain how interpersonal relationships influence media effects. It emphasizes that communication is not always direct but mediated through key individuals. Applications of two-way step flow model. The two-step flow model remains highly relevant today, especially in the era of social media. Influencers, bloggers, and community leaders often act as modern opinion leaders. Political campaigns, marketing strategies, and public health messages use this model to shape public opinion by targeting these key individuals who influence broader audience. Summary and conclusion. In summary, each communication model offers a different lens for analysis. Berlo's model focuses on the components of communication, while Shannon-Weaver emphasizes signal clarity and noise. Defleur extends this by adding media effects and audience feedback. The two-step flow model brings in social dimension, shows how interpersonal relationships shape communication. Together, these models provide a rich understanding of how we share and interpret messages. Thank you.